Read the disclaimer 13 and up. Alrighty everyone, we got new information on KnightLance, so I will say subscribe and comment. I have nothing to plug except stay tuned for Sunday. That's your plug. That's your plug from all the base, I guess. Stay tuned for a very special thing. Anyways, let's talk about KnightLance. So I have to say, I feel like I'm the only one who's kind of excited for this release. I can understand probably why, if not everyone's like 100% with it, just because, oh, Knight Shield, KnightLance, they are very different from each other. I actually would say by a considerable amount. So that's what I want to say, like, give it a fair chance, and I am pretty excited. It's also going to be like pretty early on the release. So now you're going to see me probably appear here, so I kind of want to go over. So first of all, it looks very, very pretty. The color choice is awesome. It has like the Blitz Unicorno kind of colors there. I don't know the exact kind of color. It's not really like an emerald. Kind of like a weird... It just looks so good. Yeah, the app did it no service originally when it appeared on there. Very, very beautiful colors, and we'll go over the big difference between this and Knight Shield as we get along with it. But the ratchet's not new, it's 480, but the bit is new, that's high needle. I also want to mention this, that technically speaking, since I think, isn't like high needle like 1 millimeter more? Does that mean it's like 490 technically? Yeah, but let's go on. I mean, the ratchet is a very beautiful color with the blue and purple. It reminds me of the Deep Chaos colors. Their color choice is now getting a lot stronger. Like I think, like for the first four, you know, some were all right, whatever. In the recolor, some were okay. But this is like a very good blend of colors. And obviously, colors don't make performance. I'm just like saying I like it visually. But yeah, also look at how freaking tall this thing is. It also does have a little bit of that gap thing. You know, when I was doing testings with the Wizard Arrow, right, and even Knight Shield, the gap was a little annoying because of potential burst risk, so I'm not too sure how much of a risk it's going to be here. I don't think it was too much to the detriment of either of them, but obviously this one I think is a teensy bit more with how it's raised, but you know, we have to see, right? We have to see. So after that is high needle, very good green color by the way, and if you're wondering, a little bit taller than the regular needle. And also, like I pointed out, well actually I can't say I pointed out before because I have to wait till that thing goes back up, but basically it's like, it's more like squish, like they kind of, instead of making it kind of like this longer cone, it's like a little bit less now, but I think it might have a little bit better stamina than potentially the original needle. In terms of defense, which will be better, we'll find out, but there is that height advantage. And also, you'll notice there are little bumps and a little thicker on that little circle thing part, so it's not the exact same bit, and I do like that. There's actually, it actually feels like some variation. I actually really like that idea that they're doing that, because with Burst for High drivers, it was just like, they extended it, but I actually like that there's unique variation. So how the kind of the whole thing with KnightLance goes, and if I say Knight Shield, I misspoke, is basically counter attack. So what that basically is that it's supposed to kind of like tilt, and then after opposing bait, it's supposed to make contact. So an example, drawn sword will hit it, it'll counter it, and then after it'll outspin it. It's a little bit more aggressive of a design of Knight Shield. So with X Beyblades, they're not really defense, they're more kind of like counter attack. And not all the time they're too effective, but I do think Knight Shield actually is really not that bad. Obviously, I've done testings on the other channel, if you want to go see that. If you go on our main channel, see channels, whatever, you see the other zankye testing channel, but I'm a little curious there. So you'll see in terms of Knight Shield anyways, you know, a little bit difference on what's exposed there, and also you can see kind of maybe like the thickness there. I think this might be I think potential, if not maybe for kind of like potential defense. When I say defense, I mean like how X has it, or even like attack combos. So you can also see what I was talking about before with the whole tilting thing. Like I said, we'll see. I'm still wondering. Drawn Sword's pretty much at the top, and obviously in the video they're never going to show the new release. Losing bad doesn't make any sense for marketing. But it is interesting to see the rounds, because when it does, you can kind of see that motion there when it's doing it. So I'm a little bit actually excited, because actually defense doesn't feel boring actually in this gen. So I'm actually a little bit excited. Okay, and here you go. This is basically more of a comparison between both of them. They are very different from each other. It's like a little bit more pushed in for the Lance thing. I do actually like this. It doesn't just feel like almost borderline the same. Like, I think there are some bays and bursts where they had variations of stuff, but it was like too much similar. Like, I know it was actually, I was thinking Amaterios, but even then, I think there was some variation. Okay, so I don't know. Then I just really like this. So you wanna know? I'll give burst that. Yeah, but I'm looking at the screen. Yeah, no, fair enough. And they basically showed the height difference. So if you're short, you can feel like a tall king. Okay, that's the bit I'm going with now. Oh, I said bit. Yeah, no pun intended. Yeah, and there really is a height. Wow, I'm just like noticing. Wow, that's gonna be a little bit interesting actually. So then after they do the main battle against Drawn Sword, and it does pretty good counter movements against it, and yeah, that's kind of it. What do I think so far, based on what limited information that we know? I think potentially the blade could be pretty good for offensive capabilities, for sure. For defense, I actually think it might be pretty interesting. I'm very curious stamina perform. I actually think this will be a good release. I think this might be an underrated release. Might be. The ratchet, I don't care about, because I only prefer 3 sides over 4 sides, but it's like minor or whatever. Until we get more ratchets or different sides, I'll take whatever. High Needle, I like quite a bit. I'm very curious to see how they're gonna do more in the future. I mean, we already do have an idea, kind of, with their other releases. But, yeah, I think X is very interesting so far, how they've been doing it. I think the meta is really, really fun, and I've really done, like, a lot of extensive testings. So I'm very happy with X right now. And, yeah, that's kind of it. What do you think of KnightLance, by the way? And also, what do you think of how they do the variation stuff? I actually really like that. It kind of reminds me back in Bucketin Shoot Beyblade, where even though there was like a Dragoon and someone else had also Dragoon, there was also like a real variation there. So I really like that stuff. I think it's cool. I like X, man. I like X. So that's pretty much it for the end here. Any update for the Mall Bay stuff? We got a couple of Canadian stuff left over that we still need to do. And only like a little bit left of US stuff, so if you're wondering, we're doing our best. We're just waiting for stock, so that's our update if you are wondering, by the way. I always try to give updates when we can. It's just if there's nothing really to say, like, yeah, we're still waiting on stock, then yeah, there you go, but we're trying our best. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and bye.